imagine that Ukraine agreed to some sort of a peace deal, um, and the price, which a lot of people are saying, "Come on, let the Russians have Crimea, give that up." It's got red ribbons all around it, and all kinds of other scary warnings. So let them have that, and then we can stop the killing. All right. Imagine that what happens in 2 or 3 years. Well, over the next 2 or 3 years, if Russia continues to sit in Crimea, they will never take down that big bridge. They will never allow any vessels to go up into the Azov Sea. So even if Mariupol and Verdansk, seaports number 2 and 3 for Ukraine, were liberated, no ships would be able to go in and out of Sea of Azov. Russia has zero credibility for living up to any agreement like that. And then Odessa, there's already 100 ships loaded with grain sitting in Odessa waiting to be inspected by some Russian inspector so that they can head through the straits. So Russia's control of Crimea gives them the ability to dominate all of Ukraine's Black Sea coast. So you've got a country whose economy is based on the export of grain, of rare earth materials, iron ore. So those ports, Odessa, Kherson, Berdansk, and Mariupol, that's key to their economy. So their economy will never be rebuilt. And then after 3 years, Russia will have replenished all their losses. They'll wait for us to lose interest. And then here we go again, where they've got the Black Sea Fleet and on and on and on. So in other words, Ukraine will never be safe. It'll never be secure, and it'll never rebuild its economy as long as Russia occupies Crimea. That's why it's decisive. And I was at a Munich Security Conference 2 weeks ago, spoke with a very, very, very senior executive of one of the 2 or 3 largest international investment firms on the planet. He said, if there's no ironclad guarantee for Ukrainian security, there will be no investment. There's no Marshall Plan. So they can't be secure as long as Russia occupies Crimea. That's why we have to help them get that. And it can be done, but not the way that the Pentagon describes it. It's, what they talk about is basically like a squeegee, that just pushes everything back. Clausewitz would say, focus your main effort on the enemy's center of gravity. In liberation of Crimea is that center of gravity. You do that, all that stuff in Donbass, that happens later. There will be a lot less enthusiasm for so-called separatists fighting there once Crimea has been liberated, because that will unleash changes inside Moscow as well. I overestimated what they could do. I had failed to appreciate the depth of corruption in the ministries and how that affects their readiness. And also that they, doing joint things, given all your experience, to be joint is not a natural act. I mean, it took the U.S. Congress to force us, the U.S. military, to become joint. Russia has no culture of jointness. They have not integrated yet their air, land, or maritime forces, thankfully. And they haven't yet figured out, even after 9 years, a coherent command and control structure. Nonetheless, they still felt confident back in 2014 that they could roll into Crimea, which they did. And the West, the collective West, did basically nothing other than we started helping with training of Ukrainian forces. The Black Sea Fleet was pretty much unchallenged in the Black Sea because of their illegal annexation of Crimea. They were able to expand capacity there, make this basically one of these anti-access area denial centers, if you will, along their frontier. So the Black Sea Fleet, which has several vessels capable of launching caliber missiles and other sorts of long-range precision weapons. Crimea is basically an unsinkable aircraft carrier for them. And it's what enabled them to totally disrupt Ukraine's shipping in and out of the Sea of Azov, for example. And because of Montreux, of course, the rest of us non-Black Sea nations are limited with what we can do inside the Black Sea. However,